Hi, and welcome to 3X Financials. My name is Esteban Ferrarotti, and I am lead financial analyst at the company. Today, we are going to talk about effective cash flow management strategies and how to optimize your business finances for success. So let's dive into the presentation. So let's start by introducing cash flow management. So we've spoken about what cash flow management means in other videos, but the importance of cash flow management is key here in this current video that we are recording for you. So cash flow is the lifeblood of a business, influencing its operational efficiency and financial health. So it impacts decisions on investments, payroll, day-to-day operations, thus stability and long-term success. So this means that basically if you don't have a correct cash flow management, you could jeopardize the stability of your company and you could jeopardize the long-term success. So that's why it's important to have a good cash flow management strategy. So what is cash flow management? Well, once again, cash flow management involves monitoring, analyzing, and optimizing cash inflows and outflows. It includes forecasting future positions to avoid shortages and making informed financial decisions that support business growth. So basically, when we talk about cash flow management, we're talking about how to manage the money of the company so that you never get short of money and you make better and more intelligent financial decisions. So let's go into some strategies for effective management. So the first one is to maintain adequate reserves. So this is the first advice that we can always give, or we always give our customers. So keeping adequate cash reserves protects against unforeseen expenses and economic fluctuations. A good rule of thumb is to maintain 3 to 6 months worth of operating expenses to ensure stability during downturns. So let's say that your company operating expenses are about, I don't know, $20,000 per month. Well, if the economy is running good, then maybe you could save $60,000 in cash. So that would be 3 months of operating expenses. But if you think that your market could shrink or that the economy could have some problems in the near future, then it would be healthy to increment that or to have more than 3 months of cash reserves. And the recommendation in those cases is to have up to 6 months worth of operating expenses. Also, another strategy is to streamline receivables. So effective management of accounts receivable is vital for improved cash flow. Implementing prompt invoicing and following up on overdue payments ensures faster collections of funds owed to the business. And this is something that when the business is small and has like very few customers, that's not a problem, right? But when your business grows and you have lots of customers and you don't have an automatic invoicing system or automatic collection software, then this could be an issue. I mean, you could forget to collect something and someone forgets to pay, and if you don't follow up closely your accounts receivables, you could be avoiding a collection or even an invoicing. So you have to pay special attention to receivables and make that process as efficient as possible. The other strategy is to manage effectively your payables. So timely management of payable enhances cash flow without incurring penalties or interest charges. So basically, when we are talking about this, we are talking about paying your receivables on time, right? Especially if those receivables are related to banks, for example, like credit cards, where you should always pay the full amount or not just the minimum amount to avoid large amount of interest. Or debt that has penalties or that has late payment fees. So once again, pay your bills on time, right? paying on time, it's a great way to save money. And also prioritizing payment schedule based on cash availability can help retain cash longer while maintaining supplier relationships. So you don't have to pay anything after the date or the payment date, but you shouldn't also pay things before the payment date, right? Um, the best way to manage your business is paying things when they are due, right? On the due date, on the effective due date. Why? Because if you pay before the due date, you are putting cash flow in something where you don't need to put cash flow yet, right? So the best way to manage your payables is to be aware of all the due dates and pay things exactly on the due date, programming all the payments and trying to forecast all the payments so that you are always sure that you won't be or you won't be running out of cash or running short of cash, right? So how to predict cash flow, right? I mean, if you have to predict your payments and you have to predict then the money that will come into in that I mean money coming in order to predict those payables, then you need to predict the cash flow, right? So cash flow forecasting involves projecting future inflows and outflows based on anticipated sales, expenses, and market conditions. This technique helps business prepare for potential cash shortfalls and ensure a sustainable financial pathway by identifying upcoming funding needs or investment opportunities. So, if you can predict your cash flow, ideally for the next 12 months, at a minimum for the next 3 months, um, that will help you a lot to see these two last scenarios that I mentioned, right? So first of all, to ensure that you won't have any cash shortfalls. Um, let's say that you have some large payments to do in 3 months and you don't have them like always in mind. You could end up spending money that you shouldn't, or making an investment when you needed that cash flow to make payments. So you have to predict and forecast your cash flow in order to see which are the expenses and the income that you will have in the next month, and that way whenever there is money that it's not going to be used, you can invest it, and when you need money and you won't have it, you will have enough time to go for credit in the bank, or to ask for a loan in the bank, right? One way of doing forecast is to analyze historical data, right? So understanding the past cash flow patterns is crucial to predict future performance. By analyzing historical financial data, businesses can identify trends, recognize anomalies, and make adjustments to their cash flow strategies, allowing for more accurate forecast and improved financial stability. So you can learn from your past how to predict the future. So in the past, uh, let's say like for example seasonality, or let's say that in the past you have to pay a bonus to your employees, and you want to know how much would that bonus be approximately. You could use past experiences to predict those bonus payments, right? So looking at the past will give you enough information to at least try to predict the future. Of course, you have to consider future events or potential future events like business growth, or I don't know, the market going through a bad time, or the economy going through a crisis. I mean, those things will for sure change your predictions, but the past is the first source of information that you will have. And then you have to identify seasonal trends. Many businesses face seasonal fluctuations in cash flow influenced by market behaviors or consumer demand. For example, ice cream in the summer, where sales tend to grow in the summer and to go down in the winter. So by identifying these seasonal trends, companies can strategize their spending and investments, ensuring they maintain liquidity during lean periods and capitalize in peak seasons efficiently. So let's say you have an ice cream shop, then um, you should save money during the summer to avoid having a hard time during the winter, for example, right? So those kinds of strategies, like investing the money, let's say in a mutual fund or in some short-term investments, um, will give you maybe an extra cash that you could use to have a less problems or have less cash flow problems during the winter, right? So those are the kinds of strategies that you can identify using seasonality. So next step, monitoring, right? So you have forecasted your cash flow. Now you have to monitor it to ensure that you are that your prediction is correct, right? So cash flow statements provide a comprehensive view of a company's cash flow inflow and outflow, right? So if you're using I don't know, QuickBooks or any other software for your accounting records, then you will always be able to download a cash flow statement and look at it. If you don't have any accounting software, then at least you should carry on and with a manual cash flow statement, let's say in an Excel sheet or something like that. But you cannot run your company without a cash flow statement. So why? Because cash flow statements help identify patterns and discrepancies in liquidity, allowing for timely adjustments and strategic planning to avoid shortfalls, right? So once you have predicted your cash flow and you have your cash flow prediction, you have to compare it against the real cash flow statements and see if there are deviations, right? If everything's going according to the plan, then you won't have any shortfalls of cash since you already considered them in the forecasting, right? If you are having strong deviations from the forecast, then you should analyze them. If it's deviations where you've calculated less money and you're receiving more money than you expected, then it will be great because you're receiving more money. But sometimes the estimations are too optimistic and you end up getting out of cash or receiving less cash flow than you expected to receive, and that could end up in a shortfall, right? So you have to monitor your cash flow. One way to do it is to establish regular review processes, right? Establishing a regular review process allows businesses to track cash flow trends and identify potential issues early. Monthly or quarterly reviews ensure that any deviations from the budget can be addressed proactively, facilitating better cash management. So ideally, if you are new at this, if it's the first time you are the first time you're forecasting your cash flow, you should do this monthly, right? On a monthly basis, you should control the cash flow against the forecast, or the real cash flow, the actual against the forecast, to see if your forecast was correct or if you need any corrections. Once you have experience on this and you know that your forecast tends to be quite accurate, then you could go to quarterly reviews instead of monthly reviews, right? But you always have to review the forecast against the actual. And another way of doing it is through key performance indicators, right? So KPIs such as cash conversion cycle and operating cash flow ratio are crucial metrics for monitoring business performance. Regular tracking of these indicators can highlight liquidity issues and guide businesses in optimizing their cash flows. So this is more advanced. These are like more advanced tools for a more established business, not for a starting business. Since calculating conversion cycle or the operating cash flow ratio are things that are done generally by an accountant or someone with more financial knowledge. But again, using KPIs, it's also a good idea to record or to follow up on your cash flow performance. And then you can optimize cash flow opportunities, right? So you will first create the forecast, then monitor it, and based on the results of your cash flow, you can optimize the cash flow for opportunities. So the first one is contingency planning. Contingency planning involves preparing for expected cash flow disruptions through risk management and reserve allocation. Business should develop strategies that include setting aside a portion of profits and creating backup financing options to stabilize operation during unforeseen circumstances. So we've already talked about this, right? So the money reserved that between 3 months and 6 months of operating expenses, in order to avoid, or in order to be able to compensate any cash flow shortages. But besides the operating expenses, you could save some money for unforeseen circumstances. That, I mean, maybe not favorable contingencies, like, you know, and something got broken in the company, a machine that you used to produce got broken, and you have to to get a new one, and that's really expensive. But it also could be like an investment opportunity that rises up, and you want um, to 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 I mean, to be able to go into that investment, right? So contingency planning is key for a cash flow optimized strategy. Then investments in growth, another way to optimize your money, right? So investing in strategic growth areas such as technology and talent acquisition is crucial for long-term success. An effective cash flow management strategy allows businesses to allocate funds to these initiatives for fostering innovation and market competitiveness while maintaining operational stability, right? So if you know that you won't need, I don't know, let's say that you see that every month you get extra cash, extra cash, extra cash, and you won't need it for some time, then you can start investing that money in your business growth. So that's another way of optimizing money. And also automating financial processes. So automation of financial processes streamline operations, reduce errors, and enhance cash flow visibility. Implementing software solutions for invoicing, expense tracking, and forecasting can lead to more efficient cash flow management and allow businesses to respond promptly to financial changes. So this is what I was talking about at the beginning of this video, right? So if you are doing manual invoicing and you have a lot of customers, you may forget to invoice to a customer, and that will mean money that you won't be collecting. So using tools, especially now with all the AI tools going around, so implementing technology tools can help you to optimize and to automate several processes that you're not doing manually, and that can help you to be more efficient in your cash flow management. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoy it and you find it interesting. Once again, if you need any advice or you want to change things in your company or implement processes, you can always contact us at the I mean in the data in the description of this video, right? So hope you enjoy it. Bye.